Winnipeg Hockey Talk would like to welcome you to its live version of Random Thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets with host Harley Friesen and WinnipegHockeyTalk.com's owner and writer, Mitch Casper.
Well, welcome back to Winnipeg Hockey Talks. The season keeps moving along, the conversations keep evolving, and there's plenty to unpack this week, hey? Let's get started.
Well, it's a big week because we're still alive. I'm going to say that we're not officially out yet. We won a couple big games last week. We have two this week. If we could get them both and go into the break with the thought that we have a chance in the second half, especially with all the home games we have. So the boys have done a pretty good job. I'll let you start with the intro and then we'll go from there. But at least this isn't one of those weeks where it's like we did get more points than we gave up. So
Hey, we'll
it's
take
pretty
it.
good. And if you notice us fiddling with the mic, we're battling some echoing and reverberation problems that I still haven't worked out. We might have to go to a 2-microphone system. But anyway,
Bear with us.
Lean in there.
Yeah, you're here for the content anyway. All right, number one. Thought one. The Winnipeg Jets went 2-1-0 this past week, and their record sits at a very underwhelming 22, 25, and 7. 9 points out of the playoffs. The team now has 2 games left before the Olympic break and the first mini trade deadline.
Yeah, it seems like I've just left that word in there, underwhelming, because it is compared to last year.
Yeah.
Everything is underwhelming. But to be honest, I mean, you want to win every game, but this team is in a spot right now where we don't know what's going on behind the closed doors, what's happening with the coaches, and if the players are looking for help from upstairs. They don't know if we're buying, selling, and of course, they're pretty tight-lipped over there. I think what happens next week has a huge bearing on it. Keep in mind the last game that the Jets play is on Wednesday, and the pre-Olympic mini deadline is at I believe it's 2 o'clock Winnipeg time.
Okay.
So after that, the rosters are locked and they can't do anything. So if you're going to do something or move a guy, I just think it's be kind to do it this week.
Yeah.
Because then you give the guy the whole Olympic break to get his life back in order.
Totally.
Especially if he's a family guy. I mean, the kids are going to stay in school anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, without getting into the personal life of every hockey player and the hockey side, they do have to intermingle. And that's one thing the Jets are known for, is their loyalty and how they treat their players. And that's why I never think there's going to be big trades when it involves a veteran guy with a big family, because it's tough on them. But the way it works is, like, one of the most coveted guys right now is Luke Shen, who's a family man, got kids in school here. I mean, I think he coaches his kids' hockey team here. So, if he moves, that's a big upheaval. But in this case, he probably wants to go, so it's his choice. But the Jets won't do that to a guy. And to their credit and to their fault, I mean, they really hamstringed themselves with trying to uphold this reputation that they're player friendly. They are. I mean, they treat their players like it's awesome. So that's why a lot of the guys like staying here once they've signed. And we haven't gotten to that point where players want to use this place as a destination because of how good it is. They never find this stuff out till after they got here, and they went, wow, it's pretty good. You know? But to make a long story short, I wanted to get this show probably pretty quick so we can get out of here by puck drop, which probably be 20 to 8. We're still on number 1, and I'm still blathering. But in saying that, we're kind of still in the hunt. I mean, really, not really, but there's enough there to keep us hanging. Let's just say that. The next week, the 2 games, a game tonight and a game against Montreal. If we can get 2 points, 3 points,
I feel a little better.
4 points.
Yeah.
And go into the break on a real high. So
yeah.
we'll leave that there. We'll go on to number 2.
Yeah, you said you've been in number 2. You said you've been watching Luke Shen quite a bit lately, and although he is where offense goes to die, you understand why he moves at the trade deadline and why teams like that type of player in the playoffs. His underlying numbers are weak, but isn't that because of his role and the players he plays behind? Think about it. The only line that is scoring is the Scheifele line, and he rarely plays behind them. So, of course, his 5 versus 5 efficiency will be skewed. At playoff time, when the officials let them play a little more, his toughness is valued.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's not brought in here for offense. What I like about him and a player like him, if you watch him play, yeah, he makes mistakes, and he's not a great puck handler, but he sure does make a lot of good plays with the puck. And now, because the narrative is out there that his underlying numbers are so poor, everybody's jumping on it. Instead of taking somebody's opinion from a month ago, try fucking watching a game and watch what he does. It's not bad. And the one thing I like about him when he's out there is he takes charge, and you'll see guys getting put on their butt or hit hard. You know, hitting's still a part of this game. And I look at the Jets, when we're in front of the other team's nets, our guys are getting blasted all the time. So it's nice to see somebody in our end, buck up with a little bit of physicality too. And if you watch him play, instead of just picking on him, just look at him that he's a 35 or 36-year-old veteran that's not going to hurt a Stanley Cup contender, and especially in the playoffs when the referees, they tend to call penalties in the first round, but after that it gets tight, and a lot of stuff is let go, and it's good to have a physical guy back there. I like him back there. I don't like him for 80 games. I don't think he has to play as much as he does, but you got to keep him sharp. But yeah, I'm not going to crap on him anymore. I know what he is. I know why teams like him. I know what I like about him and what I don't like about him. So enough said on Luke, but he's not long for us. They're going to trade him. He wants to go on to a true contender, and we buggered that up big time this year, so we'll move on.
Appreciate him while he's still here.
Yeah.
Well, thought 3, Elias Solomonson has surprised you with his level of physicality. He is shaping into a top 4 defenseman before our eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's overkill for me. This is 3 weeks in a row where I've mentioned him, but man.
Oh, he's really standing out.
Well, he is, because first of all, it started out he didn't look out of place.
Yeah.
And then next week, it's like, he's getting comfortable. He's trying some moves, and he's jumping into the play. And I figured, okay, just let him work on that. And then the last week and a half, he's got a little bit of bite to his game. He finishes his checks. He hits guys. He's not going to blow anybody up. He's not going to smoke them. Mm-hmm. But he does a good job of playing the man. And I kind of take a shot at Pionk coming up because of Elias's play. But once again, I like the guy, and I pointed it out in multiple weeks. So there you go.
He's got to be doing something if you're...
Anyway.
All right. Number 4, from the put that in your pipe and smoke it file.
Uh-oh.
Even though he has one of the toughest jobs in the NHL, I think it's time to move on from Chevy. Ooh. For the most part, he has done an acceptable job, some good things and some bad things, but this past trade deadline and off-season, He did the unacceptable and let a top UFA walk for nothing. Managerial malpractice and should be a firing offense in this market where the Jets have to target 35-year-old players at the end of their careers. Chevy valued 2 declining assets in the previous couple of seasons prior, and him and his whole staff undervalued the importance of and value of Nikolai Ehlers. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I tried to be again.
For me, that was the last straw. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, I've had enough for Chevy. I don't dislike him. It's just that how does a manager survive that long and with such a mediocre record?
Yeah.
And the thing that pissed me off is asset management. They overpay and gave too much term
Yeah.
to DeMello and then Pionk. They overvalued those guys, knowing that, here's the thing, knowing Nick's coming up for free agency, the word has come out now from both camps and whatever. They never even pursued him. They gave him a basic offer, but they weren't hard on him to re-sign him. And he probably would have signed here. You know, he just says, well, it was time for a change. Yeah, if they went after you like they really wanted you to stay, which they should have, and they didn't, you finally get a guy at a decent age that's right in his prime and a big-time driver on this team. And, you know, like the pro scouts, the assistants, all the guys in hockey operations should be fucking embarrassed at a city like Winnipeg, you know, lets a prime free agent go for nothing. If they didn't think they were going to sign him, they should have traded him last trade deadline. You can't let guys like that walk for free.
Yeah.
And it's in a city where we don't attract free agents. That, to me, is unconscionable. Well, look how it's worked out. We're going to have one of our worst seasons in probably the past 10 years with Vezina goalie and a guy like Scheif playing at the top level and Morrissey playing at a Norris Trophy level. Come on, hockey! They need a whole cleanup.
Yeah.
They do. They got to get some new looks in there with some new ideas and that have a different look at the team and start using their brains. You can't do what they did last year. That hurts a lot. So there. Put that in the pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, exactly. Thought 5. The rumor of a deal between Seattle and Winnipeg seems to be gaining some traction with Cole Perfetti and Shane Wright being the main principals involved. A deal in the realm wouldn't break my heart, but I won't hold my breath waiting for Chevy to make a meaningful trade until the actual deadline, if he does anything at all.
Well, Dave Pagnotta put out a thing just a while ago. I wrote it down on here. He says he doesn't know for sure that they're talking, but he knows they're talking. So I don't know. He probably has a source and doesn't want to tip that source too.
Yeah.
So, and the word out is yes, they've been talking, but Seattle's looking for maybe a bigger and better piece or a bigger trade. I don't know. Right now, let's just say this. It doesn't look like they're doing a 1-for-1. So, but yeah, you know, it's one of those things. Where there's smoke, there's fire. We'll see what happens. It could be interesting. I like Shane Wright. He's a good player.
Huh.
But he's underachieved there, just like Cole has. Looks like he's turning a corner and then he hits a rut. So maybe both guys need a new scenery, new location.
Yep.
It works.
Perhaps, yeah. Could switch up their game. Thought 6. Mark Scheifele is playing at a very high level, and right now, I'd say he might be the best passer of the puck in the league. His vision, stick handling, and playmaking are elite. Sounds like he's on the right track to something.
Well, I mean, is this bias from me because of, Scheif's my guy?
Yeah.
No, he's just playing so well, and like these guys aren't getting younger, and another season wasted. You know, it's going to probably have over 90 points and 35, 40 goals and nothing. But I shouldn't say that because we're still in it and he's keeping us in it and keeping it interesting for us. So, yeah, well done. Like I say later on, I can't believe he's not on the Olympic team. And this is when I talk about that, I'll mention something that me and Ben always talk about. And he always said, I always accuse him of obsessing about it, but it's him now. So, or it's me now obsessing. But we'll talk about that later.
Yep, that sure does come up. All right, thought 7. Does anybody miss Neil Pionk and his 8 measly points and his plethora of free pizzas?
Yes, if you're hungry, want a free pizza, call Neil. Shouldn't be mean to him. I don't like picking on guys when they're injured. But I would say Salamonson has replaced him quite nicely. And it looks like now the door is actually open. They can trade Shen. No harm, no foul. They can slide Pionk in with Stanley or put Salamonson with Stanley. And Pionk's not as tough as Shen. He's a better puck mover, although his points are embarrassing this year. You know, he got this new contract based on his hot start last year. He sucked in the second half. He sucked all year offensively. Everything is on Josh Morrissey's shoulders to carry the offense from the back end. So, you know, if he comes back healthy and he fits back into our top 6 and we move on from Schenner, the top 6 will still look pretty good with Salamonson in there. So, yeah, I guess I'm okay with picking on Pionk because he's just been so bad. But he does a lot of good things too. He's just, I think he's got too much term and he's overpaid. But outside of that, yeah, Chevy likes him and the coaches like him, and I guess that's all that matters. But that's why they should be changed because they've gone nose blind on a lot of players, including Pionk. Next.
Thought 8 is the poll. If you guys want to go check that out and vote, I think it has to do with looking at another forward.
Yeah, just see who the Jets should call up next from the Moose. No biggie.
Yeah.
There's a few guys down there that are playing good, maybe deserve to get a chance. We'll see. You know who's playing good is Gus. And Jaeger's getting his feet wet nicely too. He's not gonna be here next year. Next year is probably the year when he has a big year in the minors. But I think the year after he might push for a spot. So we'll see.
All right, thought 9. We're taking a look at playoff odds.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Do you guys remember what it looked like last week?
Didn't have my audio on there, but that didn't say much. I was just showing the graph. It's low. We need to string together 4 or 5 and get up into the 15, 20% and then push hard. But yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, still sitting at 5 point.
It's actually I don't know
six now.
I don't know how it goes up. I really don't.
In your article, you say the Jets. The Jets have 28 games left in their regular season, and their chances of making the playoffs are sitting at a 5.6%, basically slim.
Yeah, slim and none. Slim's left town.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep on doing it. Pretty soon I might be changing the graph to percentage of potentially getting the first round overall pick. So yeah, there'll be a graph. It just might be a different type of graph. At least
Oh, that'll be
I
fun.
like graphs,
Yeah.
as you can tell.
Thought 10. I've started watching face-offs a lot more lately, and especially on the penalty kill, and I have noticed that for the most part, all of our centers do a pretty good job, and that is the wingers and the defensemen that are the weak link. They look like 98-pound weaklings at the bench getting sand kicked in their faces. It takes more than a good center to win a draw, and I wondered if it's something they work on or just talk about because they are very poor at it.
Yes, that is a big
Yeah.
because what's funny is me and Ben talk a lot about the face-offs, and it's like I can't stand it in certain situations, and then I started watching the draws, and a lot of times our center has done the right thing. They've either won it and it's kind of laying there, or they've neutralized the other center and the puck gets dropped. And it seems like other teams, their wingers and their defensemen, they just hop on it. And our guys get blown out of the way like 98-pound weaklings. So that's what I'm saying. It takes more than just the center. I mean, everybody's not going to be Jonathan Taves and just win it clean back. You got to get in there and you got to help your center and you got to show some sack. We got too many floater lightweights like, KC and maybe sometimes Nemesnikov and sometimes even Perfetti. They're too slow. They're too slow and not physical enough to win those little battles where you need men in there. And our guys, I got another little quote coming up that'll describe what we're gonna be or what we want to be. But right now, we look like guys getting bullied at the beach. Let me show you the picture again one more time.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The older guys will remember this from the comic books. Hey, quit kicking sand in our faces. That's the old Joe Weider. You buy the weights and you bulk up. You go back to the beach. And
Working out on the beach, like.
Well, he worked out at
Come
home, but
on.
he showed up at the beach with muscles. And he got that guy. He punched him. If I get 5 texts or emails asking me to show it, I've made a slideshow of that guy bulking up, punching the guy, and then everybody at the beach is clapping. You're my hero. But yeah, that's what it was.
What comic is that from?
Any comic.
Oh.
Some of these, there's, those free ads you get in the
Yeah,
comic books that
yeah.
back in the day when guys read comic books. Those are always in there. Yeah, they're funny.
All right, thought 11 and 12, we're taking a look at special teams and goaltending.
Okay, here they are here. As you can see, nothing too exciting there, so I'm just going to let that go so we can get to watch the game pretty soon. Anyway.
Yeah, exciting game coming up. All
maybe
right.
If they win, it is.
Yeah, well, we can hope. All right, thought 13. The good, the bad, and usually a little ugly.
Yeah, today's ugly is a different type of ugly, but now that I've noticed it, it's ugly. So we'll go from there, but
Yep,
classic.
Yep.
Classic.
sure
Anyway.
is.
Go ahead.
Let's start off with the good. 2 out of 3 so far on their 4-game road trip.
Not bad. Got 1 game left, and got 1 game left on the road tonight against Dallas. team we played in the second round. We can play with them. Last year's team good anyway. Even this year's team, I think we lost the season opener to them by a goal. We might have beaten them once, but they're tough, and they're tough at home. But yeah, we'll see.
Bad. The goals at even strength are still tough to come by, but seem even harder on their power play.
Yeah, I mean, man, the guys that we can put on the power play.
Yeah.
When you consider that it's Scheifele's line, and they're scoring at even strength, why are these same guys not scoring on the power play? I have a theory on it, but it used to be because they passed too much and Josh wouldn't shoot, but he shoots now, so that's good. And it seems like what's happening is on the right half wall where KC's supposed to be set up for that one-timer, he cradles the puck and holds on to it too long. You never see just a big blast from over there. His shot is based on quickness and accuracy. He doesn't have that heavy shot like Kucherov from Tampa Bay has from that side. Maybe it's time to try something different over there. But yeah, it's frustrating to watch. Scoring is tight, and then the power play is tighter.
Ugly. Trying to win a face-off while being shorthanded. Yikes.
Yeah, face-off. That's one of the smart rules the NHL did. And if you look at it, this is where it really bites the Jets right in the ass, is because if you take the penalty, the face-off comes down to your end, right?
Right.
Well, we lose everyone. Honest to God, it's
help.
brutal. So basically what it means is the other team starts with the puck, and it's 2 minutes of pressure right off the bat. And how many times, even last game when when Florida scored, we had killed the penalty, but it was still the aftermath of that their power play, and they scored. And that happens quite a bit. Or our guys do a pretty darn good job. Harley makes 3 saves, and the guys clear the rebound. And we kill 1 minute and 55 seconds of it, and they score in the last 5 seconds. God, I want to pull my hair out. That's because we give them too much zone time, because we never win any face-offs. So, yeah, it's ugly, and it drives me up the freaking wall.
Well, I can see why.
Yeah, I'm going to check while you're doing this. I'm going to check for texts and emails and questions for tonight.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Thought 14, old adage time. This week's
This is a good one.
This week's old adage is very pertinent concerning the Winnipeg Jets. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah. So the old question is who gets credited with that saying. A lot of people say it's Mark Twain.
Oh.
A lot of people say they don't. A lot of people say they don't know, and there's all kinds of stories about it. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with sticking with Mark Twain. But here it is. Here, let's have a peek. But this will be a good chance for the Jets to show the size of the fight in the dog coming down the stretch. Mm-hmm. It's when it's big boy hockey, it gets tough. It's really tough. Games get low scoring and lots of overtime games, and the Jets need clean wins. No overtimes. They need other teams not to be in 3-point games, and yeah, we'll see what they're made of down the stretch. I mean, you get a lot of big talk out of the dressing rooms from players, and everybody says the right thing. It's so cliche nowadays. I mean, I'm 70. I've heard it all. And I've heard it all. I've heard it all again and again and fucking again. I mean, I like to see some action. A lot of guys are good at stating the obvious, and a lot of guys are don't have a clue. The ones that get me the most is when they get KC on there and he says all the right things and he does the opposite. But that's because I'm picking on him right now. So yeah, we'll leave that at that.
All right, thought 15. Things that make you go, number 2. I'll let you say these words out loud if you want, but HTF. How the fill in the blank is Mark Scheifele not on Canada's Olympic hockey team? This is what you were kind of touching on earlier of, just because he's playing well and he's one of your faves. So how is he not on this Olympic hockey team?
Well, how do you say it? Can't say it. Well, the coach had input, and he took a lot of his Tampa Bay guys, like Cirelli, and he's better than Cirelli. He's better than Hagel. I think he's better than Nick Suzuki from Montreal. I don't know what they're thinking there. Most of the guys I don't have a problem with, but come on, man. Like, I don't get it. I mean, he's been solid every year. He's right there. He's one of the. He'd be unbelievable on the power play. I don't understand what they were looking for. What, too good? No, let's not be silly.
Yeah.
Maybe he's still carrying a little bit of that stigma of not being a great defensive player, but I'm not buying that. I just think he's become a victim of Nepo babies in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Really.
Problem.
Well,
Yeah,
it is. It's a massive problem. But a lot of times coaches like to stick with the guys they know, and that's fine. But not when you're coaching an Olympic team at a national championship and a national championship team. They've done this before. They've tried to build a national team for a Canada Cup or whatever with role players. Role players don't belong here. Maybe they can have a role player Olympics and get a bunch of plugs in there and see what they can do. It's about having hockey players and good NHL players that can play a 200-foot game. And there's no doubt in my mind that Scheif could be a 200-foot player. So, yeah, I'm disappointed for him.
Yeah.
Ben used to always give me the crap about that. And I say, what are you obsessing for? Like, stop obsessing. And I says, he's fine. He'll be there. And when they made the announcement, I was actually mad, but I didn't admit it. And Ben was right. I mean, he was worried the whole time. Now, I don't know what worrying was going to do.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to add, anything special to him making it. But it probably kept me calm. But I'm really pissed off he's not going to be there. So maybe we'll have a very healthy, well-motivated Mark Scheifele to say, fuck you guys, going down the stretch and just really light it up. And go
sure.
USA, go. I can't do that because Josh is there. And I love Josh, so I'm going to support him.
Yeah, it would have been cool to see him on the team, but that's all right. All right, well, that's it for this week's Random Thoughts. Do we have some questions?
The boys are typing in and they're asking about the Barry Trotz thing today. And I know we were hot and heavy on Trotz a couple of years back. I know the situation was that if he came here, he would have came to Winnipeg, but he wanted to be closer to his dad, who's not feeling well. But I'm thinking like Trotz himself is 63. I wonder how old his dad is and how healthy he is and what the situation is. But who knows? I kind of find it strange that he's kind of resigned and he says he'll stay on until they find a replacement. The window of opportunity to come back to Winnipeg is there right now, and I wonder if there's any coincidence or it's just a coincidence, because our team does need a facelift in the front office and so a new set of eyes and a new vision and. Maybe he's in play for next year. Who knows? But I thought that was interesting. And there was another question here. if you hold on.
Yep.
Hold on for a second. Talk to the fans out there, Harley, and see what's up.
How are we feeling about tonight's game?
Boy, it's a big one.
It is. Yeah.
Yes, Ben had more of a comment than a question, but he says maybe we can coerce Trotz to return. He said Columbus managed to do with Bones. The thing is with Bones, when he stepped away, he's basically said he was retiring. And when Columbus reached out to Rick Bowness, it was clearly stated and understood that it was just going to be a part-time deal this year until they can get their house in order. So would have been nice to have Bones back here as a temporary guest coach and get Arneal back on track. But I don't feel good for Arneal because the ownership and the GM, they need a scapegoat for this season. And so they're going to blame it on Arneal because he was the one who didn't sign Ehlers. And I mean, it's so funny how a season can go south like this did because of one player. But if anybody doesn't believe that's the case, you know, the proof is right there in the pudding. You know, nothing much has changed. You take one dynamic player off the team. I mean, I wouldn't call him a superstar, but I call him a star. You take a star off any team, and they're hurting. Look at Toronto. They didn't think they could afford, or they could go on without with Marner. But even looks like Austin Matthews is lost without Marner. He was a big part of the power play, and you can never take for granted a better than average top 6 top line player leaving your team, because it hurts. And all you got to do is look at Winnipeg and Toronto, what they lost this season, and we're in a world of hurt. So thanks, Ben, for the comment and the question. I know we had already talked about it, but it's going to be
something
tough.
to point out for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, with that, we have wrapped the episode of Winnipeg Hockey Talks for this week. We have a Jets game to get to.
They're probably just in the anthem right now, which is fine. Yeah. I'm going to work on a 2-microphone system. I actually had it set up, but I got a better and different mic, and it didn't have enough time to get it clicked in, but I go and work on it. Everything here is a work in progress. You notice the new sign behind us. Got some more signage coming in. It's just nice. It creates a bit of a backdrop and keeps the glare from the mirrors and everything else. So little things happening. But Harley will tell you how to follow us and everything.
Yeah. If you like what you hear, give us a little follow on YouTube and X and Blue Sky. Where else are we on? Yeah. Give it a little like, comment. You can subscribe so you don't miss a show. You'll get notifications on when we go live, and then you can tune in. And we will be back next Monday, 7 o'clock.
I'll tell you something else too. If you want to give us the finger emoji, I'm okay with that. just let us know you're out there.
We are open. We are open to any comments.
Anyway, we'll
of respect.
Yeah,
please.
We'll get out of the way here so you can go watch the game.
Yeah,
and,
go Jets, go! Good luck against Dallas tonight on your last away game.
Yes.
Join Harley and Mitch again next Monday night at 7 p.m. for another episode of Winnipeg Hockey Talks Random Thoughts on the Winnipeg Jets.